o'clock now. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here on our special council meeting, City of Pasadena, Texas, February 26, 2018, at 10 a.m. We're going to call this meeting to order. Amanda, if you'll come up do the pledge. Councilman Lehman, if you'll do the Pledge of Allegiance, we would really appreciate it. Please stand.
Dear Father, thank you for creating this opportunity to conduct business. Let our hearts be humble, unselfish, and in good faith. May you bless our words and the thoughts within us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please join me in the pledges.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. We pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, that brings us down to, no one wants to speak, down to personnel changes and why we're here.
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
The comments, are we going to do any comments for the?
Sure. Absolutely. So we'll start, Councilman Lehman.
Just want to thank everybody for coming out this morning, and that'll pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Harrison? Potatoes? Yeah. Willis? Caden?
Pass.
Kerry Bass?
Pass.
Shane Bine?
I would like to say that we had a great loss for our nation in Reverend Billy Graham, and his funeral will be this week. And, you know, I just thank God for his presence, and he'll be truly missed within our nation. With that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Okay, no citizens wanting to speak, so now we'll get down to personnel changes just to create. Yes, sir. Oh, that's my second time. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you for being here. And with that, I pass. Go ahead.
My apologies, sir. You know that was not intentional. Mm-hmm. Oh, you better stop that. Now we'll get down to personnel changes to create. Y'all to create these jobs. I think there's 35. Am I right? To create 35. We need a motion.
Motion.
We got Lehman. We got a second by, was it Bass? Bass? Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
With these 35 positions, I think we need to discuss what these positions are for. This is to create positions to fill our sanitation services, because we have a contract with Waste Management that is up for negotiations. And I will not be supporting this due to the fact that looking long range in the future, creating these positions basically is going to create more government, more expenses to our city, and more liabilities to our city. And with that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments?
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I believe we need to take a look at this because from my understanding, we are coming up on a contract deadline. And so we have to prepare. This is for interviewing only.
Yes.
Not hiring. It just gives the right for HR to go out and try to hire. If we can make a deal, I think, with Waste Management, then this is a moot
Absolutely, sir.
situation. But if we don't do this, we have to be prepared for it.
I was going to say that now. I don't have to. Thank you, sir. Okay. Anybody else have any comments?
Yeah.
Hang on, sir. He said first. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, sorry, man. Just to make the public aware, with the numbers that we got, Waste Management gave us a 90-day notice and stated that they would be canceling their contract with us. And I guess what happened was that we put out the contract for bids again, and this is a contract to service almost 16,000 homes. Waste Management was the only one to bid on it, and so they're the only one to bid, and they resulted in a rate increase of 37.46%. So we would have to find that in the budget somewhere. So this is an attempt to try to, in my view, it's an attempt to try to save the taxpayers an increase of 37.46%, or find a way to smooth this out. So This isn't voting on how we'll fund it or if we'll fund it or if even we'll go back to waste management. This is just an effort, in my opinion, to give us options right now. So I will
Absolutely, sir.
support it.
Good comment. Ms. Harrison?
Thank you, Mayor. Reading the contract, what they propose, we're pretty close, and I hope that you continue about the 30-day written notice. I believe both of the parties can get together. That's not something that's stopping your contract. I believe you can sign it. And I've read the other part of the contract. Everything else is standard in there. Cost of living increase, gasoline increase, that's all been standard for years. But the bottom line is that this schedule that I got from the city controller, I wouldn't have got it if I hadn't asked for it. You should have given it to every council member. And there's certain things I didn't know. Discussing it, we came up with a conclusion what is really going on. And you don't get that unless you work and analyze it and look at the figures. And the city, their intent, if we do this, hire all these people and buy all these trucks, they want to go up. The current rate for under 65 years old now is $19.49 per month. And they want to raise the rate to $28.15 per month, per household. That's a 44.4% rate increase. And if you're over 65, they want to raise it from $15.48 to $22.52. That's a 45.5% increase. And right now, Waste Management charges $12.99 per household. Yet the city collects from every household $18 per month, and the seniors $14.30 per month. So Waste Management only wanted to increase of $4.87. Now, if you say that's a 37% increase, but it's a 37% increase from what? It's an increase from $12.99. The city is making $1 million a year off Waste Management. That goes into the garbage collection fees. So the bottom line is, with the new rates that they propose, the garbage regular, 26,572 customers, the new rates is going to be $8,976,000.21. And with the 65 and over, it's going to be $1,466,862 for a total of $10,442,884. And you add the garbage bags that increase, that's $10,520,000. That's an increase of close to $4 million. Now, if you vote for this employees today, you're going to get, we need to let them know where we are, and I'm going to let them know my position right now, that I'm not for a garbage rate increase. And if you vote for this position, you get hiring all these employees and garbage trucks, and next year is when they're going to pay for all that, but that's going to continue. The employees are going to be here. So from a business standpoint, I'm not going to support this because it's bad business for the city of Pasadena. I'm not for any garbage rate increase, and there's also talk of getting rid of the exemption for or discount for the seniors. And I will fight that, as long as I'm on council. We put that in place 10 or 15 years ago, and they want to change it. So therefore, I cannot support this because it's a bad business decision for the city of Pasadena. With that, I pass.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I haven't heard anything. I've talked to the controller about this, and I haven't heard anything about doing away with the discount for senior citizens. Now, there's one thing.
No, sir.
Excuse me.
Mr. Harrison, you had your chance,
I
sir,
have the
please.
floor, sir.
If he
I have
Mr.
the
Harrison,
floor.
you had your chance.
I have the floor.
That came from people in the water department.
I have the floor.
You can't
Mr.
talk
Harrison,
one person.
excuse me, sir, please, come on. Let's show respect.
Well, Mayor, when he comes out there and lies, it's a different story.
No,
you
that's
just
not
call
what
me
he
a liar?
said,
You
sir.
talk to one person.
Did you just call me a liar?
Yeah.
Bruce, thank you, but listen, Mr. Harrison, no more.
We'll get an
Go ahead,
opinion.
Bruce.
I'll give you an opinion.
Well, come on.
There's one section in here that says additional adjustments. This section would allow Waste Management to increase base rates upon 30-day written notice. So if we do enter into a new contract with Waste Management at one set rate, they can come back at any time and say that's not enough and ask for more. And that's why I don't think this contract is good for the city. Thank you.
Thank you, and that's why we're really here, because of the contract. It does state that they can raise their rates at any given time. We can't sign any papers or contracts like that. Somebody else had a comment?
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
the bottom line is, come April the 1st, okay, the citizens of Pasadena, my wife's already told me, I do not want garbage sitting in our garage. I want it out being picked up. Okay? I think the city employees, Izzy, Robin Green, the whole departments has really taken a hard look at this. They've really, and also the city controller, we're trying to cut the costs as much as we can, just in case we cannot get a negotiation with Waste Management. And there's clauses in there that we're in totally disagree with that Waste Management's made, and I understand we're going to have one other meeting with them, and if we can't come to an agreement with them, then we're going to have to pick up the garbage ourselves. The city of Pasadena is going to have to take up on that without a pass, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
what folks are failing to tell the citizens is that there's basically a dollar difference between Waste Management continuing doing our garbage pickup or Pasadena instituting the new sanitation process. We have to buy new trucks. There's going to be a $4 million hit to our general fund next year to pay for all this. I'm not in favor of putting our city into debt, long-term debt, when we have to take over this contract and do it ourselves. We have to include benefits, truck maintenance, workman's comp issues, benefits. Long-term, this is not a good contract for the city to invest in more trucks and more sanitation workers. The best thing for our city is to contract this out and go with Waste Management. Now, I don't agree with Waste Management having the perception of holding us hostage. I think that the negotiations are going to go well, and the worst thing that we could have is citizens' trash not being picked up. Nobody wants that. But when a service is providing a service to save the city money and you project it out 10, 15, 20 years, I guarantee you we'll bankrupt this city if we don't take action now to protect what we have in our general fund. With that, I pass.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I have one last?
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Everybody else is talking. This item that we're talking about today authorizes our HR to start looking and interviewing. We're not talking about negotiating, leasing trucks, doing any of that today. This talks about being able to go out and interview for positions. If the meeting goes well, coming up this week, then this is for naught. But I think we're jumping the third hurdle before we get to the first one. We're talking about strictly interviewing here. If everything happens good this Thursday, then this is for naught. But at least we need to prepare. I am not for rate increases. If you get to that point, you will have to take what you're paying Waste Management and then what it costs to lease and hire folks. You have those funds that you're paying to Waste Management. So then you talk about it. But to derail road the third hurdle before you get over the first one, I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. By that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Castelos.
All right, thank you. I can talk now. Yeah, there's some good arguments, I guess, on both sides of this thing. This is the way I look at it. You have a 37% increase on these rates. Kind of going through this, and there's a whole bunch of figures being bounced around. The way I look at it, it's about $1 million increase annually that Waste Management wants to increase our rates at, $1 million. According to the figures that the city wants to do, the city wants to raise the rates 44 and 45%. With all that being said and done with, we're talking about an increase of almost $4 million. So that $4 million, again, to make an argument, Councilmember Shanebine was saying, is that that's going to have to pay for personnel, benefits, the whole 9 yards. As a business standpoint, it is better to stay with Waste Management. It's cheaper for the city in the long run. It's just, I mean, facts are facts. I mean, the numbers, we've got the numbers right here. This year, if we stay with Waste Management, it's cost an additional $614,000. Next year, if we do it ourselves, it's going to bump it up to $7 million is what it's going to cost the city. Or, I'm sorry, $3.8 million.
Thank you.
$4 million extra. So that right there, I mean, that just goes to show you if we go about it with the city, it's going to, we can't sustain doing this. I mean, I would love to be able to provide a service to the citizens that the city could do 100%, but at the rates and the amount of money it's going to cost us, all we need to do is increase. If I'm all for doing any of this, but another thing we got to look at too is if we're going to raise rates, where are we going to make cuts through the city? When have we started making cuts on our end? That's where we need to start, because I guarantee you, if it's just $1 million increase that Waste Management wants to give us, we can find $1 million in the city. We just got to make some cuts. So I just honestly feel that this right here is if we vote on this today, what we're doing now is we're basically saying, okay, we're giving administration an out and saying, okay, instead of working on this contract, we're just going to go out, hire people, and we're going to do it the way we want to do it anyway. And I feel like that's not the right move. We need people working on this diligently. I think that with the contract that Waste Management has, the 30-day notice that they can raise and increase rates and all that good stuff, quite honestly, I mean, you look at it, it's standard operation. I mean, the increases that they want to do is for landfill increases. I forgot the other stuff, but there are certain criteria that they can only raise rates on, and then they've got to provide the documents to prove to the city that they have been given those increases. So it's not something that they can just say, hey, we want to increase it for no reason. There are guidelines and parameters to those increases. So anyway, with that, I can't support this, and you know, that's my take on it. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, I have a question. I'm sorry.
A question or a comment?
A question.
Go.
There's been a lot of talk about these rate increases. Are we voting on that today?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
That's going to be a vote for down the road. We're just
So
voting.
where do these numbers come from? I guess I'm wondering.
The numbers on.
Like these numbers, because they're talking about these rate increases and stuff. So are those set in stone, or is that proposed? Or?
No, that is, we already have to talk about that here soon, because we haven't had a rate increase in 8 years. And with cities actually losing money on our garbage collection, not making money. Number two is the 20% on the senior citizen will stay in effect. I guarantee that. Number three is the $3.4 million for the garbage trucks. If we have to do this, which we don't, but we have to, it's not coming out of the general fund. Right. That's right. So we have to really look at the real true numbers and forget, I don't know, and stop talking to people that's not telling you the truth. Talk to the city controller and the budget people. And
That's where we got it from.
Exactly, but no one's ever said under my administration that senior citizens not get the 20% discount. I don't know where that came from. So anyways, all we're voting on today is just to create these jobs. And to create these jobs is another way, and y'all have to see what this is. It helps us with negotiations to let these people know we're serious. If they'll just take out the part about they can raise it at any given time, we'll stay with the program. But we can't afford to sign a contract that where they can increase their rates at any given time. And believe me, other towns around us, cities around us, got this deal, and they hate this deal because they've gone up a lot of money. Yes, sir.
And in the city where I come from, in Galena Park, we've had the same similar situation with waste management. And we had to, obviously it's a smaller city, so we had to contract that business out just to a different company, which we did. But it's because of waste management decisions to do this that we went down that road. So I will support this only because it's just a proposal.
Thank you, sir.
For that.
All right, let's get to the vote. Thank you, sir.
Wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
No, that's good. No, we're going to the vote.
No.
All in
You
favor?
let everybody else speak second. I'd
What?
like to speak again.
No, sir.
Yes, you
All in
did.
favor?
You need to treat everybody fair.
I'm treating everybody
If you
fair.
let
All
everybody
in
speak
favor?
the second time,
Aye. Aye. Any opposed?
no.
We got a no. Harrison, Casados,
No.
and Shanebine. Passes. Thank you. The council meeting is over. Thank y'all for coming. I appreciate it.